spite of that, the UPA government is doing its best not to inflict further hardship on the people of the country. But I would like to say that while we hold a responsibility as central government, so does the state government hold certain responsibilities. And I want to ask of the BJP government here, why hasn't the government increased the limit of LPG cylinders per family from 6 to 9? This is what our Congress government have done. This is what our chief ministers have done. They have increased of 3 the gas cylinders for the people, to lessen their hardship. And why hasn't the Karnataka government reduced the VAT tax on diesel, just like our Congress-led government have done? So it is all very well to criticize, but what about you? What are you doing about it? What are you doing to lessen the hardship of your people? It is your responsibility as much as ours. So a few words I will say on FDI in retail, because this is another area on which the BJP is attacking us. And what is ironic is the fact that during the BJP-led NDA government, they were going to bring out exactly the same policy in FDI, in multi-retail. Now, I would say, why are they attacking us? Just for the sake of attacking us. I would say because they don't care for the farmers, they have no concern for the farmers. We, on the other hand, want our farmers to get better prices and to lessen the waste of their products. By bringing FDI into retail, we are ensuring a direct linkage between the farmer and the market, and also we will enable consumers to pay lower prices. And besides all this, many new jobs will be created, new infrastructure will also be created. Now, since we are talking of farmers, I have heard Dr. Parmeshwar and Siddaramaiah ji, they described the hardship of the farmers here, where they are cultivating, in cultivation of areca nut. Also, I am told that you face serious problems in the field of sericulture, and many parts of your state are still under drought. Here, I know that the UPA government has already sanctioned 700 crores, but I shall, when I go back, I shall put to the government the request which I have received from here, that more help is needed for the farmers of this region. I would like to add another point, and that is, I read in newspapers that the Karnataka government is always complaining and blaming the center for not giving them enough money. I'd like to tell all of you that in the last 5 years, the UPA government has given the Karnataka government 80,000 crores, 80,000 crores of rupees. When the NDA, BJP NDA was there at the center, you received 30,000 crores. We have given 80,000 crores. And I would like you to ask them, the people in government, what have they done with that 80,000 crores? Where are they? Have they reached the people? Have they reached the programs? Have they gone to the programs which were meant for the people of the state? These are the questions that you, as Congress workers of the party, have to ask. Now, another issue is corruption. We all know that corruption is a disease, is a cancer that has spread throughout our society. And whom does it hurt most? it hurts most the poor people and the ordinary citizen. But I want to say that no other party has done what the Congress Party, what the UPA party has done to fight corruption. We brought the RTI legislation, not the UPA, not the APA. We brought it in. And it is through the RTI that many of these malfeasance and scandals are coming out. We brought the RTI because we genuinely want to fight corruption. Together with the RTI, a number of other legislation to curb corruption have been brought. We wanted to pass the Lokpal bill. We did so in the Lok Sabha, but who stopped it in the Rajya Sabha? The BJP stopped it in the Rajya Sabha. So you tell me, do they want to fight corruption or are they just pretending to fight corruption? And when they attack us, I want to ask them, I want you to ask them, what about corruption in their state? Here, in Karnataka, in Madhya Pradesh, in Gujarat, in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh. These are questions that you must ask. These are questions and answers that you must receive from the government. And I know that eventually the people of Karnataka will deliver the answer, the right answer against this corrupt government of Karnataka. Now, I would just like to end by saying that your beautiful state, and particularly this most beautiful part of Karnataka, has always symbolized the wonderful diversity of India in which our secular traditions have always been preserved and protected. And these are the traditions that have held our country together. If we were to start fighting between religion, between community, what will happen? Would we be able to maintain the India that we have today? No. That is why we all must work hard to see to it that the forces of communalism are defeated. Now the BJP and its allied organizations are destroying the social fabric here in Karnataka. They have sought to divide society on religious lines, and they have sought to spread religious prejudice and hatred. We, the Congress Party, must stand up and fight these forces. Fight these forces, and when I say fight these forces, I mean that we must fight against communalism regardless of where it originates from. So, friends, while the people, it seems to me, through your enthusiasm, that while the people of Karnataka are certainly fed up and disenchanted with the BJP, we as workers, we as Congress Party members, we cannot remain complacent, and we cannot take things for granted. As I said at the beginning, let us move forward, let us work hard, let us keep the party interest uppermost in our minds and actions, and let us resolve here today to continue to work unitedly to meet the challenge ahead, and by that I mean the coming assembly elections. And I end by wishing you all, on this most auspicious occasion of Dussehra and also on Eid. So all my greetings to you, and thank you all for coming and participating in this meeting. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.